Today I'm going to be having my first look at the Invens V12 Plus budget smartphone. Hey guys, just a quick reminder before we get to today's video. If you like this video, please hit the like button down below. And if you want to see more content like this, do subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions or anything to say about this product, please leave a comment down below. And now let's get to today's video. So I recently now got myself this Invens V12 Plus smartphone. I've had some requests to do a review of it as well. So today I'm going to have a look at it. So first of all, let's have a look at the packaging. So first of all, it comes in a pretty decent box. It's pretty sturdy. It's a thick, hard cardboard box. And yeah, that's basically it. Nothing too much to see there. Here on the back we have some information about the phone. So first of all, as you can see, it comes with Android 8.1, which is slightly older, but it's still new enough to be okay, especially for a budget phone. It has a quad-core processor, 2 gigs of RAM and 16 gigs storage, a 5 megapixel front camera and 5 megapixel rear camera. It has a 6-inch IPS LCD display, fingerprint scanner, face unlock, and a 3000 milliamp hour battery. That's basically all there is on the packaging to see. So let's get right into it. First of all, the box just opens up by sliding off like this. Very simple. Then you can put it aside and then it just opens up. And there we go. You have this piece of paper with the name Invens smartphone written on it. And then we have the phone itself. There we go. Let's put that aside and see what else we have in the box. So then this just comes out. We have the removable battery, since it does have a removable battery, just like all the other Invens phones we've done so far. And then we have a pop socket, just like we got with all of the other phones. We have a cover. Once again, this one is quite similar to the one we got with the A9, as you can see there. It doesn't have sides. It just hooks on the top and the bottom, so we'll have to see how well that fits and how well it sits on the phone if it comes off all by itself. If you haven't checked out my review of the A9 yet, please do go check it out. I'll leave a link up here in the info card. Then next, we also get a glass protector with its pads, wipes to clean the screen, and that's the basic manual. So that's basically it. Nothing abnormal here yet. Basically all the same stuff we got with all of the other phones so far. A micro USB cable, just for charging and data. So that's pretty normal. Old school, but normal. A hands-free, basically the exact same one we got with the other phones. And then a wall wart, also just a basic 1 amp normal charger, no fast charging or anything like that. Okay, so that's basically all that's in the box. So let's put that aside. And first of all, let's have a quick look at the phone itself. Okay, there we go. That's the phone. As you can see, right now it's still got its plastics on it, so we'll just remove the back one first. Okay, that's quite sticky actually. Okay, there we go. So it's got quite a nice reflective design on the back. I don't know if you'll be able to really see that on the camera. It's quite nice. It's not just plain, it's like a gray color kind of. It does come in a couple of different colors, so you can check out the other colors if you want a different color. But I quite like this color. It's quite nice to me, I like it. Some of the other colors, I know it comes in like a baby blue color, also kind of like this reflective, but just baby blue, but I like this more, but that's all up to you. So now let's quickly install the battery. Sure, this back cover is quite tight. Okay, there we go. Came off. So here's the battery. 3000 milliamps. It's pretty decent. Nothing abnormal, but it's also not abnormally small. So it should have pretty decent battery life. As you can see, it's dual SIM here, and it takes a memory card as well. Okay, so the battery goes in like that. I do quite like the fact that it is a removable battery as well. Now let's just remove this front plastic. There we go, nice big 6-inch screen. So let's turn it on. Okay, and there we go. Yeah, same basic Invens intro that all of the other phones has. Okay, there we go. Boot it up pretty quickly. Okay, first impressions. The display looks pretty good. As always with these cheap phones, it is still just a basic air gap display, but you can't really expect anything more because it is a cheap phone after all. Okay, nice flower wallpaper if you're into that. The quality of the display does look pretty good. Viewing angles also not bad at all. Actually, it's very good for a normal IPS display like this. It's got the exact same software on it that the A9 had, so that's quite interesting. So yeah, not much to see here. It's got a torch. Let's test that out. It's always interesting to see how bright they are. Once again, just like with previous Invens phones, it's not a very bright torch, it's quite dim. So once again, you don't have a very good flash then as well, so you'll have to keep that in mind. The phone does feel quite responsive. I mean, it's not slow or anything at all. Any app that you open up launches pretty quickly. It does come with a couple of apps pre-installed. Basically, it's all very similar to what we got with the A9. Okay, now something else I want to do quickly that I haven't done before with any of the other phones I did is to run a benchmark. So I've decided to just run Geekbench since it's a pretty simple basic benchmark that most people know and can use for free, so that you can compare it to any other phone. So I'm quickly gonna download it and then we can check out the performance. I've just ran into a little bit of a problem with benchmarking this phone. It actually isn't compatible with Geekbench 5. So because of that, I'm now just going to be running a different benchmark. So the easiest one that I could find that is actually compatible with it is just PCMark for Android. So I'm just going to be running that and seeing how well that works. Okay, so unfortunately I tried to run a couple of benchmarks on it and I just couldn't get it to work. Geekbench isn't compatible with this specific phone. I think it is just the software is plain too old or something like that. And I tested some other ones and they just wouldn't run properly on it. So I won't be able to benchmark this particular phone, but I will be benchmarking future phones. But now let's see what else we have here to test out. So first of all, we have this here cover. So I want to test how this fits on the phone. So it just goes on the phone like this, basically identical to the one we got with the A9. It sits pretty okay. I don't know about this type of design with this here. Maybe you could even use it to put like a card in here or something. But I think that might be a little unpractical in its own way as well. But yeah, whatever. There we go. That's the cover. It does sit pretty loose on the phone. So I don't know if it's gonna stay on this phone. This phone is slightly bigger than the A9. So that fact might make it so that this cover doesn't sit properly. On the A9, I said it's okay. It feels like it will stay on the phone, but like with this one, I'm not so sure because it feels kind of loose. But you would have to test it out properly to really judge it in that way. Now, what else is there that we still have to test? So first of all, I think we should test the security on it. Let's test the face unlock. So we're just gonna use a pen, set it up, and then continue. Okay, face capture. So it just takes a couple of seconds to capture your face. Okay, and that should be set up now. So let's test it out. So we're just gonna lock it. There we go. Unlock. And it's looking for my face. Okay, it's pretty quick. Let's see how long is that. Yeah, so it's about like 1 or 2 seconds. So it's not too long, it's pretty nice, it's pretty okay. I guess it's doable. You could use that. That's if it's actually safe to use. But it's basically the same software that they had on the A9, so I'm pretty sure it is. Okay, so let's see where we can set up the fingerprint. So I'm assuming that's going to be under security. Yeah, fingerprint. And then we can just say continue. Set up screen lock. Okay, so it needs to have a screen lock still once again, just like any other fingerprint. Because this is basically just the normal Android one. You just need to do this a couple of times so that it can detect your finger. Okay, there we go. Now it should be all set up. So let's test it out. I'm just gonna lock the phone. Yeah, that's quite a bit quicker than the face unlock, but that's to be expected, especially on a cheap phone like this one. Let's just test it once again. Yeah, it's quite quick. It's like immediate, like it's like this. You just have to touch it and it unlocks immediately. But let's just make sure it won't unlock with a different finger. Just to be sure again. Nope, there's no way. It just doesn't want to unlock with a different finger. But if I use the correct finger... Oh, okay. And look at that. So basically it just locked it because I attempted too many times to unlock it with the wrong finger. Wrong finger. Right finger. But yeah, the fingerprint scanner, I have to say, works pretty darn well. So now, what else is there on the phone that we still need to test? I think basically only the camera. So I'm just gonna have a quick look here, and yeah, the camera is actually not too bad on this phone, I have to say. All things considered, the rear camera is pretty good for a cheap phone. So let's just see what the front camera is like. Yeah, this one might actually even be better, I personally think. So once again, just like always, I'm just going to overlay a photo here of the rear and then the front camera, and you guys can see how it performs. So yeah, that's basically all there is to see on this phone. So my conclusion on this phone is that it is a pretty decent phone for the price. So this phone is slightly more expensive than some of the really cheap ones and the smaller Invens phones and some other cheap Chinese phones as well. It comes in at around 1,400 rands, right around there you will find it, or around just below $100 if you want to convert it to dollars. So yeah, the price isn't too bad in comparison to more expensive phones, but you're also getting what you're paying for. The phone is pretty responsive, but it's also not the fastest phone in the world. I tested it out a little bit now, especially whilst I was trying to run the benchmarks on it, and it isn't too fast, though it isn't a dead slow phone either. Now, the one thing that is a little concerning to me is the fact that I had so much trouble running any benchmarks on it. I'm not sure what to make out of that. I think I will do some further investigation into that and see whether there was a reason for that. Maybe it needs to do an update or something like that, but I'll have to take a little more time with this phone to be able to do that. So that's basically all I have to say then about this phone. I would suggest it if you are looking for a phone in this price bracket. and it's easy to acquire this specific phone. I wouldn't suggest you go out and look for this particular one. I would actually rather recommend you go and buy the Invens Max 8, which I did a review of a couple of weeks ago. That phone is a much better phone for the money. It's more modern. It's got Android 9 on it, I believe it was. So that's much better. But if you want to see that phone's review, you can go and check it out. I will leave a link up here for that so that you can go and check it out. So that will basically be all from me today then. So please do remember to like this video if you liked it and subscribe to this channel for more tech related content. And if you have any questions about this video or you want to say something, don't hesitate to leave a comment down below. That will be all for today then, and I'll see you guys next time.